Hello everyone, my name is Chandrani. I'm a legal research scholar, and one of my articles titled Amarnath's Melted Ice Lingam and India's Legal Duty has been published and awarded with Certificate of Excellence by Legal Service India. I am here to discuss about this article very briefly. So the first and foremost reason for which I have decided to write about this article is that as legal research scholar I have observed that many people are not very much aware or concerned about the rules and regulation or the duties we have towards our environment, and it is now in a very alarming situation that we take our initiatives and do a very little, whatever we can we do for our environment. So now let's discuss about this article very briefly. When we talk about laws and justice, it's naturally come into our mind that natural justice, social justice, and human rights, women rights, children rights. But we really don't think about environmental rights, wildlife rights, and environmental justice, right? Let's at least think about it a little. So, we all know that Amarnath, situated in the Himalayas of Jammu and Kashmir, which has a very profound spiritual significance of devotees around the world, and every summer in the Amarnath cave there was a Shiva Lingam naturally created with ice and draws a lakhs of devotees during the Amarnath Yatra. However, in recent years, an alarming changes have been observed, which is the ice lingam has begun melting prematurely, sometimes even before the yatra begins, which is a very big question mark on the issues of climate change, unsustainable development, and unsustainable tourism and regulatory lapses on this fragile ecological and spiritual site. This year the Yatra began on 3rd of July and will conclude on 9th of August, which is nearly 38 days Yatra. And last year in 2024 it was nearly 52 days, which is reduced to 38 days this year. But the shocking thing is that the Shivalingam had already melted over 50% even before the Yatra begins on 3rd of July. And within the first 10 days of the yatra, the Shivalingam was melted completely. Previously, in mid-July, the Shivalingam used to be 12 to 15 feet tall, which now become 1.2 to 2 feet, which proves that the Shivalingam has started to shrink very drastically. I have mentioned a comparative data of the previous years of the height of the lingam, how it drastically shrunk over the years. So for the detailed data you can check the article for once. Now if we discuss about the causes and causes of this natural phenomena, then we cannot blame on one single reason. There are multiple reasons behind it, and the major concern is about the climate change. Second is global warming, for which the Himalayas are warming at a faster rate. And third is the rising of the temperature have altered snowfall patterns and accelerated glacial retreat across the region. And Amarnath is not an exception. Equally concerning reason is the unprecedented rise in the number of pilgrims visiting the shrine, which increases human-induced heating, waste, heat through diesel generators, cooking stoves, and vehicular movement, which includes helicopter frequency also. To safeguard this beautiful and profound spiritual site, the constitution and legislative frameworks needs to be provided through Article 21, which guarantees the right to life, and the judiciary has construed this right broadly to right to hygiene and safe environment. In a landmark judgment in Subhash Kumar versus State of Bihar 1991, Supreme Court held that environment degradation is a violation of Article 21. Next is directive principle. Under Article 48A, obligates the state to impose protection and safeguard of environment and wildlife and forest. And Article 51AG, which imposes as fundamental duty to every citizen to protect and preserve our natural environment. These constitutional provisions, these constitutional mandates are backed by some statutory laws like Environmental Protection Act 1986, which empowers the central government to take all the necessary measures to protect the environment. Next is the Forest Conservation Act of 1980, prohibits using forest land for non-forest uses without permission, and these provisions are especially relevant because the route to Amarnath passes through ecologically rich forest zones. Further, the Wildlife Protection Act is applicable as the route includes part of the protected zone and areas where disturbance to wildlife from the pilgrimage has been documented. The judiciary has also intervened to mitigate the biological damage. In 2012, the Honorable Supreme Court, taking a suo motu cognizance over it and giving a decision that constitution of a high power committee to studying the impact of the pilgrimage and propose regulatory measures every year. The next is the National Grid Tribunal in 2017 also put an ban to the chanting and other human activities within the close proximity of the Lingam to maintain a cooler microclimate. Again in 2023, which is very recent, the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, in the case of on its own motion versus Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, recommended limiting daily pilgrimage footfall. After all this judicial intervention and decisions, recent years have seen some efforts by the government and Sri Amarnath Shrine Board to adopt sustainable practices. The 2024 Yatra introduced biodegradable travel kits for pilgrims, and the use of eco-friendly materials. Carbon footprints assessment were also initiated for the very first time, and one major initiative was the review of helicopter use. AI have been deployed to prompt flash floods, cloud bursting, and other natural calamities too, which can disrupt the yatra. The green NGOs like WWF India and Toxic Link have petitioned the government for implementing stricter plastic bans, biodegradable toilets, and waste segregation limits along the route. In my own opinion, I think the government and Sri Amarnath Shrine Board should come with the polluter pay principle, and that should be implemented very strictly, because as preserving the sanctity of the lingam requires a shift from a purely logistical approach to a value-based environmental governance model. First, melting Amarnath ice lingam is a symbol not just of spiritual disruption but of a longer ecological and legal failure. So at the end of this video, I want to tell everyone through this video and through my article that please save the Amarnath cave, the pure Amarnath cave, as its name signifies. Keep it Amar, and let our next generation, even coming generations, that they can also witness this beautiful reverberated space and beautiful phenomena of naturally creation of a ice lingam, which is as big as 12 to 15 feet, even more if we can do that. And as we all know, dharma rakshati rakshita, who protects dharma protects them. So I think it's a very high time that we protect our dharma by protecting our water, our air, our soil, our environment, our wildlife, and our nature. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please keep safe the environment as little as we all can do. Thank you so much.